An ancient curse that entraps the souls of tormented warriors. A darkness that clings to a forgotten village, whispering through the rustling leaves and the creaking wood of abandoned homes. This is not just a ghost story. This is a descent into a past that refuses to die. A haunting tale that feels uniquely American in its exploration of forgotten histories and the restless spirits they leave behind. It's a compelling supernatural narrative, perfectly suited for an audience that appreciates a deep, atmospheric, and culturally resonant horror. The story begins with Clara, a young woman drawn back to the roots of her ancestry, a place spoken of only in hushed, fragmented memories. Accompanied by her loyal friend David, she arrives at a village that seems to have been swallowed by time itself. It is a place of profound silence, an ancient settlement where her family once thrived generations ago. As they navigate the overgrown paths and decaying structures, a palpable sense of history and sorrow hangs heavy in the air. Their exploration leads them to the heart of the village's forgotten spiritual life, a dilapidated, abandoned temple, its frame groaning under the weight of time and secrets. This was once a place of reverence, where villagers gathered to offer prayers to a deity they believed watched over them, a guardian spirit meant to ensure their prosperity and safety. Inside the crumbling sanctuary, dust motes dance in the slivers of light that pierce the gloom, illuminating faded carvings and forgotten offerings. It is there, nestled in the shadows of a collapsed altar, that they discover the object that will irrevocably alter their journey. They find a broken arrow, an artifact that feels ancient and malevolent to the touch. The arrowhead is crudely fashioned, its point still lethally sharp, while the shaft is splintered and bound with what looks like dried sinew. A dark, almost sticky residue coats its surface, and an aura of immense pain and anger emanates from it. This is no ordinary relic. It is a cursed object, the physical anchor for a powerful malediction cast centuries ago. A curse that has ensnared the souls of warrior spirits, binding them in an unending cycle of torment and rage. The moment Clara's fingers brush against its surface, a chilling cold seeps into her bones, a premonition of the darkness they have just awakened. As they attempt to understand the significance of their find, the fabric of their reality begins to unravel. The broken arrow acts as a key, unlocking a door to a past that is not merely remembered but relived. Both Clara and David are violently pulled into horrifyingly vivid visions, their consciousness ripped from the present and plunged into the blood-soaked soil of history. They find themselves as ethereal witnesses to a brutal tribal war that once ravaged this land. They see the clash of warriors, hear the screams of the dying, and feel the raw, untamed fury of a people fighting for their very existence. The air is thick with the scent of blood and fear, and the once peaceful village is transformed into a theater of carnage. Through these immersive, terrifying flashbacks, the true nature of the curse is laid bare. They witness the moment it was cast, a desperate act of vengeance by a dying shaman, intended to trap the souls of the enemy warriors forever. The curse was designed to prevent them from finding peace in the afterlife, condemning them to wander the land as vengeful, tormented apparitions, their final moments of agony replaying for eternity. For generations, these warrior souls have been trapped, their anger festering, their despair growing with each passing century. The land itself has absorbed their pain, becoming a permanent prison for their restless spirits. Confronted with the horrifying truth, Clara and David realize they have a choice. They can flee, leaving the village and its tormented spirits to their eternal suffering, or they can intervene. The weight of Clara's ancestry, her connection to this cursed ground, compels her to act. They understand that the broken arrow is the linchpin of the entire curse. It is the source, the focal point of the dark magic that holds the spirits captive. They resolve to destroy it, believing that shattering the artifact will finally sever the chains binding the souls to this world, allowing the warriors to move on and find the peace they were denied so long ago. Their mission is clear, but the path forward is fraught with peril. The moment they commit to their course of action, the tormented spirits sense their intent. The phantoms, twisted by centuries of anger and pain, are no longer just passive echoes of the past. They become active, hostile forces, viewing Clara and David not as saviors, but as intruders meddling with their domain. Their attempts to destroy the arrow are met with a relentless and terrifying assault from the very souls they seek to free. The vengeful ghosts manifest in terrifying forms, their presence announced by sudden, bone-chilling drops in temperature and the horrifying sound of whispers that seem to come from everywhere at once. Doors slam shut, objects are hurled across rooms by unseen hands, and shadowy figures dart at the edges of their vision. The spirits launch psychological attacks, preying on their deepest fears, filling their minds with images of their own deaths and the suffering of the past. They are stalked through the decrepit temple and the shadowed woods, the vengeful ghosts using the environment itself as a weapon. The attacks are brutal and relentless, a desperate, violent effort by the trapped souls to protect the very curse that constitutes their existence. The warriors, having known nothing but rage for centuries, lash out at the prospect of change, their tormented minds unable to distinguish between salvation and annihilation. Clara and David must fight for their own survival, their resolve tested at every turn as they fend off the furious onslaught of the damned. Through sheer determination and a desperate will to survive, they finally reach the ancient stone altar at the heart of the temple. In a climactic struggle against the coalesced rage of the warrior spirits, with spectral figures clawing at them from all sides, and the entire structure of the temple shaking as if to collapse, David manages to strike the broken arrow against the stone. With a sound like 1,000 tortured screams being released at once, the cursed artifact shatters into a cloud of black dust. A wave of energy explodes outward, and a profound, echoing silence falls over the village for the first time in centuries. The oppressive atmosphere of anger and sorrow lifts, replaced by a clean, quiet stillness. The curse is broken. The tormented souls, their forms briefly visible as they rise like smoke towards the heavens, are finally free. Clara and David, battered but alive, stand in the quiet aftermath, the first morning light filtering through the trees. They have succeeded. They have faced the darkness and brought peace to the tormented. Yet, as they prepare to leave the ancient village behind, their victory does not feel complete. A deep, unsettling feeling lingers in the air, a subtle wrongness that the breaking of the curse has not managed to erase. A question hangs unspoken between them. Was the curse of the broken arrow the only darkness that resided here? As they cast one final look back at the silent, watching trees and the ancient, empty homes, they can't shake the terrifying suspicion that the village is not truly free. They have merely scratched the surface, and that far more terrifying secrets, ancient and patient, are still waiting in the shadows, ready to be uncovered.